And so that's where I'm at. I just was wondering if, because every step of the way I wanted to appeal, and my lawyer said no, and he said, you need to make CPS your best friend. And,
I've heard that strategy many, many times. And to me, that's not a good strategy. It is. This is the secret. How to fight CPS and win. We're taking your calls, listening to your stories, trying to answer your questions. Let's take another call right now. Nicole from Minnesota. Nicole, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
It's kind of both. Hi, Vincent. My boyfriend, Kevin, has contacted and been on your show a number of times regarding my daughter. Right now, we're in, basically, it's all been, as you know, corrupt. My daughter was, there was no judge's order. They didn't ask me to take a drug test. They took her from my parents' house where she was going to have a visit. They just returned from Arizona at the time and was going to spend some time there. And they brought her to her father, whom I had an order for protection against on her behalf. And it's just, it just keeps getting worse. It's been a living nightmare. Right now, I am wanting to appeal. Basically, they had nothing on me. They attacked me and everybody in my family, and still nothing. And so, basically, it was a transfer of custody to the father. Mm-hmm. And I still completed everything that they asked of me, regardless, and still continuing to do that. Basically, so, I did file with the Criminal Justice Department, and I've even been in touch with the Attorney General's office. I've called over 100 lawyers. I call him a public pretender because he has been a horrible lawyer, horrible. And I'm really concerned about the next step, of course, of appealing, especially with this lawyer, because he's done me wrong every turn. Mm-hmm. And so no court date as of yet. My daughter wants absolutely nothing to do with me now because of all the lies and all the things they've said, and I basically raised her, Mm-hmm. As of last, she had turned 10 years old, and so she got her own lawyer, and that's why they didn't terminate my rights. They just transferred custody. And so that's where I'm at. I just was wondering if, because every step of the way I wanted to appeal, and my lawyer said no, and he said, you need to make CPS your best friend. And
I've heard that strategy many, many times. And to me, that's not a good strategy. It is a strategy that you can use, but sometimes not the best strategy, making the social worker your best friend, or trying to. Because a lot of times social worker doesn't want to have anything to do with you for whatever reason. They might come down on the side of the other parent, or come down on the side of the foster parent, or,
Well, when I got sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. When I got the order for protection for my daughter against her father, he had physically harmed her, and CPS wouldn't respond to my call a month before the trial because my daughter had been injured again, and at the hands of her father. And I found out why, because she actually showed up because I filed for it, and she showed up sitting next to the father. And when they wrote the case up, even though the judge granted me the order for protection, CPS wrote the case up that I had mental health concerns. They had mental health concerns for me, and that they found no evidence that the father had abused her, even though, there's pictures and, it's all documented. So yeah, she has been clearly, so from that point on, the father, who's had little to nothing to do with our daughter her whole life, the dad or the father and his mother have, teamed up and became rather vindictive. And my parents ended up getting a phone call. They go to Arizona in the winter time, and it was from one of the family members' boyfriends, who was friends with my dad, and he said that the grandmother, the father's mother, was plotting a scheme to take my daughter away from me. And I just laughed because there was nothing that could possibly happen. You know what I mean? And well, it happened.
Right.
And I'm still like every step of the way, I'm just in absolute disbelief, and I want to appeal. And my lawyer's like, no, just cooperate, do whatever they want. And
if you feel, or anybody out there listening feels that they need to file an appeal and their attorney says no, I'd have a serious talk with that attorney. And because appealing, especially if you have a court-appointed attorney, is a very low risk thing for you to do. It doesn't cost you anything generally if you have a court-appointed attorney. They'll give you another court-appointed appellate attorney. At least in California they will, and in most states. So always, talk to someone about that issue about appealing, because I think, if something's been wrong or done wrong, that it should be reviewed by the court. The other thing that I want to tell you, and we just have a few minutes here, we all use that word corruption, and we throw it around. And a lot of times it's not necessarily corruption. What it is that people believe certain things about our justice system and how cases should go. And when they don't go that way, we throw out that corruption word. The bottom line is you need to know the law. You need to have your evidence, marshaled and presented in the right way. And you need to have a good lawyer. And a lot of times those things don't happen, so we blame corruption. And it's not really corruption. It's just that, you went into the ball game and you didn't have the best team, right? I mean, we've all seen what legal teams can do, high-powered legal teams can do in, famous cases. The one I'm thinking about is the O.J. Simpson case.
Right.
So, listen, you know what? I want you to do me a favor on Monday. Give me a call and we'll chat some more about your case. Call my office, 888-888-6582, because I have to take a break right now. We got to take our news break and a commercial break.